Hello everybody and welcome to our beautiful city of Chelyabinsk, and today guys we're gonna take a ride on our beautiful metro. How about we do that?
Bruh.
Okay, where's the entrance though? Yes guys, do you see the beautiful sights of Chelyabinsk? The barbed wire, the towers of metro construction towering over us, and the metro sign. Yes guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about a Soviet metro that was never built. The Chelyabinsk metro. The Chelyabinsk metro, which has been in construction for 28 years now, and it's only been built about 20%, and not even a single station has actually been finished, and it's been crowned as the construction of the century in Russia. So, as you guys know, the city of Chelyabinsk, the city I live in, is known in Russia. Ты что за мной не идешь? Я сейчас иду, ты туда останешься. As you guys know, the city of Chelyabinsk, the Russian city I live in, is kind of known as a meme in Russia because it's a city where nothing ever works. It's one of the most polluted cities in Russia, and also it's known as the city where the meteor has fallen in 2013. So it's basically a meme. I think one of the biggest memes about the city of Chelyabinsk is also the fact that we've had a metro construction for the last 30 years and nothing has happened. Yes, technically the construction of this metro has actually begun in 1992, so it's technically not a Soviet construction, not a Soviet metro, but the metro plan was actually created in the times of the Soviet Union, in fact in 1967. Initially this metro was created as part of a Soviet project to build a lot of nuclear bunkers around different cities in the Soviet Union. It was the times of the Cold War, you know, everybody was scared of the nuclear war, and so this metro was sort of a part of that. It was more of a nuclear bunker disguised as a metro, you could say. So this is a Soviet metro plan that never happened. The first deadline of the construction, the first original plan, was to finish the building of the subway by the year 2000. At that point already billions of rubles had been wasted essentially. A lot of Western specialists were invited from Europe, from America, from Canada. Actually a lot of Canadian equipment was bought for billions of rubles. Already at that point billions of rubles were spent on what we see right here. As you guys can see, this is the results of billions of rubles of spending. The construction was still going very slowly, and the deadlines kept being pushed back more and more and more.
Потому и было принято решение о строительстве Челябинской подземки.
Сегодня уже не стоит вопрос, быть или не быть Челябинского метро.
Челябинск все-таки определился в своих желаниях. Он хочет строить метро и даже не возражает против старого генплана.
The next major deadline that people actually started believing it was 2007. And at that point the metro has already kind of become a meme because the government kept pushing back the dates and always saying that they don't have enough money, guys. We don't have enough money, even though we've dumped billions at this point. We just don't have enough money to build a metro, guys.
Народ начинает бузеть, раз, будет, деньги дали, опять все заглохло.
Будут деньги, все сделаем.
And by 2010, the construction was actually frozen, just like I am right now, standing in this fucking ridiculous weather, filming for you guys, smash like. Even the news stopped taking this entire story seriously. Nobody just believed at this point that the metro is actually going to be constructed. And in 2013, the governor of the Chelyabinsk Oblast said that perhaps maybe the construction of the metro will be finished by the year 2033. Very ironic, I think. What's funny is that by that point people have already realized that building this metro system is kind of useless. Let me tell you guys why. You see guys, the issue is that the metro was the project of the metro was laid out in the 1980s in back then Soviet Russia still. Guys, the station that we were just at, you can see it right there, by the way. Там видно?
Нет.
No, there you can see the tower we were just at right here. This is a station that was supposed to be named Торговый Center, Trade Center, and this is the building of the Trade Center right here. It's a Soviet building. This was a very big attraction back in the Soviet Union in like the 60s, 70s, the 80s. This was a very unique building. It still actually is a very unique Soviet piece of architecture. The thing is just that nobody cares about it anymore. One of the biggest issues is that the project was laid out back then when just the economy of the city and the way everything was set up, everything was laid out was completely different. Not in just Chelyabinsk, but in Russia in general, right? And so this location was actually pretty popular and interesting to people. Now nobody goes there. It's like, actually, me and Boulder Bancroft went to this place in one of our videos when he came to Chelyabinsk, and it's like nothing. We have new malls now in Chelyabinsk. ты тоже нахуй ебал завали. We have new malls now in Chelyabinsk that people actually go to. This place is dead. And so having a subway station right there next to this, you know, trade center doesn't even make sense anymore because it's not a place people go to. Nobody cares. And the same exact thing can basically be said about the entire general plan of the whole metro system. It just doesn't make sense anymore. And even if it was built today, nobody would actually really use it because the stations are completely irrelevant. So right now, guys, we're in front of the only station that was actually ever built in Chelyabinsk, although not completely, because this is actually the only station that finished which actually has some sort of interior built in it. If I was a news journalist, if I actually had access, we could have actually entered and checked it out, but unfortunately, guys, I'm just a mere mortal, just a YouTuber. YouTubers don't count as people. We can't get in, but this is the only station which has actually been kind of finished. I know it doesn't look like it, but trust me, guys, just trust me. Well, the latest news with the metro construction in Chelyabinsk so far right now are that in 2020, the new city governments announced that possibly by 2025 now, new deadline, they're actually gonna launch some sort of new type of transport in the tunnels that have already been built. However, they're not gonna launch actual subway trains, metro trains. They're actually going to launch some kind of other form of transport, like some kind of high speeds tram or something like that. Basically, nobody actually knows and nobody actually cares what it's gonna be because they understand that nothing's gonna happen. Both the governments and the people in the city just started realizing that it's not gonna make any profit whatsoever. The issue is that, guys, Chelyabinsk is not the best developed city and it's not a city that develops a lot. And so what happens is that a lot of people actually live in the city. A lot of people move to like Moscow or St. Petersburg or whatever. And also the lack of proper transport and the abundance of the so-called marshutkas, which is something I made a video about, is the ungodly, you know, sore on the bodies of Russian cities. It's this awful form of minibus transportation that's just uncomfortable. It's a plague. I hate it so much, you guys. Watch my video on it. Basically, because the public transport is so terrible, what happened is that it led to people buying more personal vehicles, and essentially there's not really that much passengers left anymore. People just gave up and they're like, okay, public transport in our city sucks ass. We're just gonna buy cars from now on. And so nobody cares. Even if the metro was built today, the amount of people that would actually travel by metro would not make any profit whatsoever in like 50 years. So essentially all the billions spent on this metro construction are basically just in vain. And now, guys, we're in another location which is our final stop today. Actually, we've climbed this little construction here which we don't know what it is supposed to be. We have no idea how we got here, but I think it's pretty cool. It's a nice site. Doesn't this have a very big Half-Life 2 vibe? You know what I mean? Like everything, just look at where the fuck we are, honestly. Like this is such a Half-Life 2 vibe. The thing with these metro towers that are sticking out of everywhere, it's like they kind of look like combined architecture from Half-Life 2 as well. But yeah, right now we're also in a central location. This is actually one of the residential neighborhoods in the center of the city. So where we're right now, it's actually a this is just a residential building right here, and these people literally have a fucking metro construction compound in their like backyard, which I find so weird as well, to be honest. Looking at all of this kind of feels like looking at the remains of an old civilization, if you know what I mean. Even though this was built after the fall of the Soviet Union, it still looks ruined and destroyed as shit. Like these towers have stood like this for like 30 years at this point, pretty much, almost. I mean, it's been ages. They're all like rusty and everything. Just kind of shows the state our cities in, and a lot of rural cities in Russia are. It's not great. This is hilarious, I think. There's a sign right here which says, "Dear residents, we're sorry for the temporary inconvenience connected to the construction of the Revolution Square station of the Chelyabinsk Metro. Temporary inconveniences, aka 30 fucking years of inconveniences. This has been here for 30 years. This is just incredible. I mean, this actually is from 2007, which is, at that point already, the metro has been in construction for 15 years. Okay, it's been 30 years since, so temporary inconveniences is 30 years in Russia. You know, this is how Russian time works. So this apparently was supposed to be the most like central station of the metro, which is the Revolution Square. Now you guys might be asking, okay, this is all funny and everything, but what actually is the reason for the Chelyabinsk metro? Why has it taken so long? I mean, almost 30 years now and still nothing has been built. First of all, one of the biggest issues is corruption. Corruption is a very big problem that plagues Russia for its entire history, and corruption in the Chelyabinsk region is notorious. One of the ex-governors of our region has been exposed for huge corruption scandal and for stealing billions of rubles from the Chelyabinsk budget, and he's since escaped and moved to Israel, in which he cannot be extradited. So Chelyabinsk has kind of been a cash cow for many people throughout the years. A lot of governmental officials that were appointed to govern over the Chelyabinsk and the Chelyabinsk region actually came from like usually Moscow, and essentially they would use Chelyabinsk to basically gather a fortune for themselves and essentially essentially then just leave this region in ruins, and basically then just moving back to Moscow where they came from. This is actually a common situation with a lot of regions in Russia. Another very big issue is the lack of financing. The thing is that in Russia we have a very centralized budget, in a sense, a very centralized approach to the way things are run. So essentially Moscow a lot of the times gets all of the cash from the entire country. Essentially every region of Russia is used as sort of a cash cow again. All the money is going to Moscow. I think there's been a story about Moscow spending in 1 year, the city of Moscow spends in 1 year on lighting more than one of the regions spends on healthcare in 1 year. I mean, that just shows something, right? By the way, here guys, you see this is also pretty cool. This is also like a relic of the past, when I guess they wanted to sort of provide some more branding, is that they actually made some fences with the M, obviously stands for metro right here, like the Chelyabinsk metro logo. Obviously ever since these are just so abandoned. I mean, it definitely does feel like this is something that's like from old Soviet times, even though it's not, but it's just so rusty and old. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, another issue is actually that the financing was a problem as well, because since the construction actually took so long, I mean, the Russian government started giving out less and less finances each year, because they essentially just lost faith in the fact that this metro is ever going to be built. So they started giving out even less finances. It wasn't that much to begin with, and essentially this just slowed down the process. And yeah, this is what we have right now. Rusty ass fences, covered in graffiti, all just completely derelict. You listen how quiet it is? Because nothing's fucking going on. This is the reason why. Now actually, here's another funny anecdote, is that Chelyabinsk is actually not the only city in Russia which has, you know, a messed up situation like this. Another very big meme in Russia about a metro that's never going to be built is the city of Omsk. The city of Omsk has one entire metro station that's been built. They didn't even like make as much tunnels as we did. All they did is that they literally created one metro station. They created like an underground passing, literally just to cross the streets, and it's literally just a place where you can cross the street underground, but it has the metro sign on top of it. So the Omsk metro probably is actually even a bigger meme than the Chelyabinsk metro, because there's literally only one station they started to build, and they just called it a day. And they're actually not embarrassed to just put up a metro sign on top of it. This is at least, you know, we have like a construction going on. Well, we had one, but we don't put like metro signs in front of metro stations that don't exist. They though in Omsk, they don't care. So yeah guys, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I decided to make a lot more videos on the place I live in, just kind of find interesting things to talk about. Hopefully you did enjoy this story of a failed Soviet metro that never came to be. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to slap the like on it as well, guys. If you want to support my channel, support what I do on it, make sure to go over down in the description to my Patreon, donate to it. I would gladly appreciate it. Also, you guys can buy my YouTubes. The link is also down in the description. It also helps me out, supports my channel and stuff like that. And yeah guys, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. Chelyabinsk, the Chelyabinsk metro, the fuck is bangers forever. Peace.